Y'all don't want to be lawbreakers when you're in Idaho, right?
Yeah!
Find out what new laws went into effect this week. Hey, Dave Edwards, Treasure Valley Dave here. You know, you're a great real estate agent by your side when it comes time to buy a home, sell a home, or even relocate to the Treasure Valley. And if you're thinking about relocating to the Treasure Valley, or maybe you already live here, you probably want to know what laws went into effect this week, July 1st, 2024. So you don't become a criminal. You don't run afoul of the long arm of the law. Am I right? So let's just go through some of the highlights so you have an idea of what's going on, what's new, and what's different. From our friends over at the Idaho Dispatch, which is a great news outlet, independent news outlet, I suggest you subscribe. They're telling us that one of the new laws is that there's a newly imposed mandatory minimum sentencing for the trafficking of fentanyl. So is that a good thing to have a mandatory minimum? Maybe, maybe not, but it does show that the state of Idaho is serious about getting this fentanyl issue under control. And another new law is that all agencies of the government, boards, commissions, any government entity that collects payments, they have to accept cash without imposing any additional fees because of the use of cash. So I guess maybe that's trying to get around the new One World Order digital currency requirement. Maybe, but it sounds like a pretty proactive thing right here. Another law is that when the Idaho Department of Welfare initiates a child protection investigation, this new law ensures that parents are notified of their rights to refuse to answer questions, the right to have an attorney, right to refuse entry into their home, and to refuse the questioning of any minor children. So I'm sure just like in anywhere else in the country, that Department of Welfare, when they do these child investigations, it can be weaponized against political opponents. We've seen things that look like that in the past, so maybe this is a good thing. Another law is that diversity statements may not be required for hiring or promotion decisions in Idaho colleges. Okay, so maybe you'll have to be hired and promoted on your merits when you're working in a Idaho college. I know, it's pretty radical. So another law is it's an attempt to protect children from dangerous internet content, a civil remedy for damages against commercial entities that publish or distribute material that is harmful to minors on the internet. Another one is we have the new Don't Tread on Me license plate. Some of my friends are already thinking about getting those. Another law is that no public money can be used for gender transition procedures or surgeries. So I guess if you want to cut off your wedding tackle, you're going to have to pay out of your own pocket. Another new law is that vaccine exemptions are available to all students in Idaho of any age at all public and all private schools, including colleges and universities. COVID comes along, COVID-2 or whatever the new name is, and they say, well, you have to get a vaccine to go to school. Nope, not in Idaho. Another new law is that the legislature instructs public libraries and public school libraries to prevent children from having access to certain books and materials, essentially restricting children's access to obscene or harmful materials. And when a library is in violation of this, then civil action can be brought against the school or the library for damages and injunctive relief. Well, your tax dollars under the stewardship of a librarian or a school administration, they want to inflict a political agenda that goes contrary to this, they could be paying out of their pocket. Well, eventually out of your pocket, but so elections matter. So for a few more, let us turn to the Idaho Capital Sun. And they're another great resource for some pretty balanced information about what's going on in the bill mill. So what they highlighted that passed this time was that Governor Little's Workforce Development Council provides $71 million to implement grants for the Idaho Launch Program. I've heard it said that what this is it's Governor Little's payback to corporations to get $8,000 grants per student to get them trained up so they can just step right into one of these Idaho industries that need specialized training. True or not, I don't know, but it does have the smell of some kind of a cronyism. But, bless the hearts of those kids that get the training and get those good jobs. So I guess maybe there's always pros and cons. Another new law creates ways for the state to spend an estimated $2 billion, that's a B with a billion, on school facilities over the next 10 years. Governor Little made school facilities a prominent feature in his January 8th State of the State address. So to me, it sounds like a little bit of politicking there, getting the vote of the teachers. Maybe, maybe not, but that sounds like a heck of a lot of money, especially in light, and you've probably seen this in the news recently, is that the younger population in Idaho, school-aged children, is very much on the decline. In fact, right here in Nampa, they're closing some schools. So why they need to spend another $2 billion on facilities? Just asking. And another new interesting law is that Idaho legislature only recognizes two sexes in human beings, male and female. And they also say that the word gender shall be a synonym for the word sex. So in Idaho, as far as people go, there's two sexes. I didn't make that up. I think God did. And another new law enacts protections for public employees and teachers who are unwilling to use a person's preferred pronouns. So I guess what that means is that a teacher would not be able to refer to a student by name or pronoun that does not align with their birth sex without parental permission. And another bill that passed is a way that the legislature is wanting to combat ballot harvesting. They're saying that it's illegal for someone to collect and turn in another person's absentee ballot or unvoted ballot. If someone collects 10 or more ballots during any election, a violation of the bill will become a felony. Wow, just think if you did that 34 times, you'd have 34 felonies. And interfering with an election. I wonder what kind of sentence you'd get for that. And quickly, the Idaho Capital Sun also reports some of the bills that did not get passed and are not law. And just interestingly, and a bill that did not get passed would have created a new state crime of illegal entry. So basically that means that if you're in the state, law enforcement would have the right to check your immigration status. Another bill that did not get passed was the anti-racism and anti-hate speech resolution. I'm not sure what this would have done, but perhaps if you would have said a politically incorrect word, that you would have been brought up on, 34 counts of hate crime and never seen the light of day again. And another bill that did not become law was that the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare was to provide over $500,000 in state funding to provide summer lunches for low-income children. You know what? Growing up, I was a low-income children. In fact, I didn't even have a job. Well, not till I turned 12. And you know what? I learned how to eat, peanut butter sandwich, bologna, and I cleaned up my plate. We didn't have all that processed food either. I wonder if we were better off for it. And lastly, another bill that did not become law, and I'm sure there's more going on with this that we'll hear more about this coming legislative session, is a way to block ranked choice voting. And I think in this one, it was some of the details that didn't pass constitutional muster, so that's probably why this one didn't pass. But just talking with other patriot legislators, this whole concept of ranked choice voting is not something that's going to happen in Idaho. Certainly probably not in our lifetime, right? I think we did pretty good with these new laws. I didn't see any of the laws that say that you need to pay more, you're a bad person if you do something that you've been doing all along. I'd be curious to see what some of the new laws in other states are like. Maybe you could leave some comments down below. California, Oregon, Washington. Wow. So yeah, I'm pretty happy about what I've read here today. And I'm seeing that most of the laws are constricting the government. So I think that's probably a pretty good thing. And protecting children and people, that's probably a good thing too. Well, hey, thanks for stopping by. Check out the links to these two stories down in the comments, and leave some comments, and subscribe and share, and come on, man, you know the thing. Anyway, we'll see you on the next video. Hey, thanks for stopping in and learning more about real estate in Nampa, Idaho and the Treasure Valley. If you'd like to learn more, watch this video here next or binge on this playlist. When it comes time to sell a home, buy a home, or even relocate to the Treasure Valley, your Treasure Valley Dave team is your real estate expert by your side, helping you get home.